Boom. Here we go. I want to rock right now. And I came to get down. We are live on Instagram and we're live on the YouTube. Live on Instagram, live on YouTube. We're live together, everybody. Welcome on in. Welcome on in. Welcome on in. What up, everybody? Come on in. Come on in. Come on in. Nope, we are not doing live requests. You guys all know why. I want to rock right now, and I came to get down. I'm not internationally known, but I'm known to rock the microphone. Let's get stupid. Let's get outrageous. I don't know the words, but I'ma play it. Come on in, guys. Welcome on in. Welcome on in. Welcome on in. We are live on Instagram. We are live on YouTube, or we're recording for YouTube. Haha, toilet time. Yeah, see, you remember. Why? What did I miss? Probably you missed the time that the last live call-in I took was it was an oopsie whoopsie. It was an accident, and she called in from the toilet, and it was very embarrassing, but also kind of very funny. Get it. Ow. All right. Are we ready to talk about Tom? He's not in a ding-dong ditch today, but he is pleading the fifth. All right. I'm going to open my wine. Hola, oh shit. Yeah, it was pretty bad. Hi, Blair. Ooh, I love that ASMR. What's going on, everybody? Today I'm drinking Flip a Table. Probably because I just saw the Jersey Girls. They were out filming. They were doing the thing. Looks like Marge and Jennifer were in a heated little glockle. Yes, spill out the tea, baby. Hello from Riverside. Oh, hey, Ola from Riverside. Well, Ola back. I know where Riverside is. It's not in Los Angeles, but it's not far from it. If you guys have questions you want me to answer at the end of this, there's a little question mark thingy that I think you can leave a question in. Question, why do these people do that illegal stuff to put themselves on TV and then put themselves on TV? Good question. Thoughts on Bill Aydin? We'll get into all of that. Leave your questions. Badges are on, so if anybody wants to throw some love in the badges are on for this week. I appreciate all the love. Also, when all the comments are coming in, it does highlight your comment, so I see that one first. We have a lot of tea to break down today. First of all, congrats to Brittany. If you guys didn't catch my live with Dr. Deer today, definitely check that out because I love Dr. Deer and he keeps me looking Forever 21. So you're going to want to tune into that. It's on at Just Plain Zack on my other account. Okay, so we're going to talk about Potomac. We'll talk about New York because I have some thoughts about New York this week. A little bit of casting tea with New York. We'll talk about Beverly Hills because a lot was broken down with Beverly Hills. We'll talk about Tom Girardi refusing to testify. We will get into all of that. We're going to talk about All Stars because there are some rumors that All Stars is filming a second season right now. And then there's a little Ronald McDonald update. Nothing bad. Well, depends on how you look at the news, but it's so yummy. Who's drinking with me tonight? Who has their no filter wine? I've got mine. I'm drinking. I'm ready to flip a table. We have an all new limited edition can that's going to be dropping later this month. Stay tuned for that. Yeah. Cheers, everybody. If you haven't ordered yet, go to nofilterwine.com. Look at it says no filter on it. It has my face on it. 4 fun cans inspired by Potomac and soon to be 5 fun cans. Limited edition can is dropping soon. All right, so let's get started. We'll start with Potomac, since that may be where my new can is inspired from. Wink, wink. Okay, so thoughts on Potomac, only because I asked you guys what you wanted to talk about, and you said you wanted to talk about Potomac. I thought Potomac was great. I think Potomac has hit a solid season. Love Mia. Love the vulnerability Mia's bringing. Love the honesty that Mia's bringing. I think she's a breath of fresh air. She's a lot of fun. She's pretty. She lives a very glamorous life, but she didn't always have that glamorous life. And like, I'm here for it. You do you, Mia. I think Giselle and Robin are a little annoying. I think they're mean girls. And I think Karen needs to drop the whole Giselle wishing death on Ray. Giselle never wished death on Ray. Like, we need to, like, move on from that. It was from 3 years ago. Like, Karen, come on. Like, you were good with the Sing Sing, and you were good with the Hot Box and the Broken Whore from Hampton University. Like, you were good with those serves. you dragging out this, wishing death upon Ray bullshit. It's bullshit. I ain't here for it. Oh my God, I'm not even seeing all these comments come in. Why not? Sorry, guys. I'm a little behind. Love Potomac. Karen is BS. I don't think Karen is BS. I like Karen. I enjoy Karen. I think Karen is the queen of Potomac. However, I don't love Karen's tactic coming for Giselle. Like, if you're going to come for Giselle, there are plenty of things you can do and plenty of reasons you can be coming for Giselle. This is one of the weaker ones, Karen, that makes me be like, oh my God, let the mouse go. Let the mouse go. Karen has no story. I want Ray to pay his bills. That should be the story, that Ray doesn't pay his bills. But maybe he's starting to pay them now, or now that she paid them for him. Any other thoughts on Potomac? I feel like that was a very quick Potomac recap, but I don't have anything else to say about Potomac. No one's talking about Mia. Do you guys like Mia? I like Mia. I think Mia's great. Hi from Nashville. Oh, hi, Darcy. Kimya. Thanks, Kimya, for buying a badge. I love you, boo. Mwah, mwah, mwah. I really appreciate that, you guys. Thank you. And thank you for all the reviews. Like, so many sweet reviews on iTunes. Pazamp4 said, great podcast. Zack is amazing. Just listen and buy his wine. He's also adorable. Look at that. Boom. That is killer right there. Thank you. Love you guys thank you for weighing in on the YouTube. I'm chatting with you guys live right now. Thank you. Love you. I really appreciate all the love on the YouTube. Okay, Mia is better than Monique. Really? You think Mia is better than Monique? That's a really hot take. I don't know if I agree with that. I like Mia. I would have liked to have seen Mia with Monique. I feel like if we could have gotten rid of anybody, definitely, yes, buy the wine. It's so good. Thank you, Simply MJ. Thank you for supporting the wine. I would like to see Mia and Monique, and if we could get rid of anybody, I would get rid of Robin, like, for sure. I also think Wendy's a little too thirsty for me this season. I liked her last season. I liked her at the beginning of this season. And now I'm just like, Wendy, stop. You're being too much. And your Zen Wen shit is just not cute. Cheers. Is it not MJ? How do you pronounce? If I'm mispronouncing your handles, guys, please let me know. Okay, let's talk about New York, because there's a little bit of tea. There's a rumor that's out there that I kind of want to squash. But with New York, the episode overall, I would say 80% of it was boring as fuck. And I was not interested in the New York one. I like muster through, and I feel like it's like pulling teeth trying to get through New York. However, what I will say, though, is that we can't fire Ramona. I know a lot of you hate Ramona. I don't even always love Ramona. Ramona, like, drives me nuts sometimes. I don't always agree with Ramona, but the show needs Ramona. Like, if we didn't have Ramona in last night's episode, could you imagine how terrible that episode, how boring that episode would have been? And how they're like getting mad at Ramona for being like, oh, you're ruining this Black Shabbat dinner, when Leah's literally like screaming that Ramona's a fucking psycho at the dinner table. Like, I felt bad for that poor woman. I don't even remember her name because all of it was just so boring that I didn't even like pencil any of it in. But I felt bad for the poor woman that was hosting it. Kimya, should they bring Bethany back? I don't think Bethany will ever come back. I just don't. I mean, not anytime soon. I think her ego's too big. And I don't even know if she needs to come back at this point. I know she's had like opinions about the show, and she's like softened her tune a bit. And some people are saying that like that may be her way of trying to come back into New York. I don't know. Whatever. There's nothing exciting to say about New York. However, there was some tea that was revealed. There was a rumor that I heard about New York casting. Someone sent me this in the DMs, and I looked into it, and we're going to break it down. So the rumor is that Shed Media, which is the production company that produces Real Housewives of New York, and Andy are being removed from making casting decisions, and that now the network, NBC Universal, they're going to be the ones deciding on the decision for casting. Who stays, who goes, what newbies are coming in. They're going to take over that load. Hi, Sailor. Sailor Easton, what's going on, boo? Hi, right back at you. Kisses, smooches, love ya. Again with you last night. Facts. Also missing Dorinda. I miss Dorinda too. Speaking of Dorinda, I am going to have her coming on the podcast soon. Stay tuned. I'll do a call for questions for her. She comes on in 2 weeks. And love Dorinda. Reading her book right now. That's going to be the first book we're doing on the book club. So if anybody wants to join our book club, DM me. I'll send you the link. I'll send you my Amazon affiliate link. That way, We can spread some love, and we can get Dorinda's book. That way we have it in time for the book club, which is starting on August 24th. So if you want to join our Bravo book club, let me know. DM me. But okay, so the rumor is that NBC Universal is going to be taking over casting for Real Housewives of New York, and Andy is no longer going to be doing casting, and the production company is no longer going to be doing casting. However, what I can say and what I will say is that like this is false, but it's also true. So how all of this works. Thank you guys for all the badges. I'll give you shout outs momentarily, but let me break down this tea. How casting normally works is the production company, which in this case is Shed Media, they do all of the heavy lifting. And so what they do before every season is they put together what's called a Bible. I know Bibles because when I used to do events, like we would put together a Bible and it has all of the information in there. Casting information, storyline, directions that we think the show's going to go in, who's fighting with who, what filming locations we're going to be using. Like it's the entire deck to it's the entire Bible essentially to the season that's going to be coming. The producers have to put that together for every single season and they have to update it. The producers then pass that up to the executives. This is Andy Cohen. So you have all the producers, then you have the executive producers, the execs, Andy Cohen. They're in the next tier. They look at it, they give their notes and feedback, and really that's their role, is they kind of oversee it. They give whatever they think suggestions need to be made to help push it forward or tweak it or adjust it or whatever. Then it goes up to, once those updates and changes are made, then it goes up to the network, and the network's at the top of the pyramid, and they're the ones that make all the final decisions. So the network's already making casting decisions. That's kind of how it works. The producers do all of the legwork. They put together the Bible. They look into who they think is going to be a good fit on the show. They interview them. They do, they put together the casting videos. They then pitch it all to the executives. And then the executives say, yay, nay, let's move in with this girl. Let's not move in with this girl. Then it goes up to the network, and the network makes the final decision. That's how it's always done. That's likely how it's always going to be. So people that are like, oh, no, the network is going to be making casting decisions. The network has always made casting decisions. They always have final say. The network has always produced the show. They have final say. Same thing like the executives and the, like Andy Cohen. So I don't believe that this rumor is already true. So it's hard to say that there's truth to this, that they're going to be taking on, unless the network itself is saying, we're going to put together the Bible and produce this show from the ground up. That's different. And I don't think the network actually cares enough to do that. They probably want to be a little more strict given what a bomb RHONY is this season, but I don't think that there's any truth to this rumor given the hierarchy and given the way that things already happen and work. It's just, no. Thank you for trying, thank you for playing, but that is not a real thing. NBC Universal, aka Bravo, since that's the parent company, they already make those decisions. Okay, that's all I have to say about New York. Nothing new about Potomac. Let's talk about Beverly Hills. Living in Beverly Hills, Beverly Hills. This is where you're gone. How in the hell did anyone pick Teddy Joe? I think they picked Teddy Joe because of her dad. So what I heard about Teddy Joe's casting is that she kept name dropping her dad and talking about her dad and talking about her dad. And so they thought that she was going to bring her dad on the show. And then obviously once the show began, her dad never participated in the show. So at this point, yeah. Okay, Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. Your girl Mar. That's hilarious. Kathy with the I don't know her. Kathy is just the gift that keeps on giving. Am I right? So, thoughts on Beverly Hills. Obviously, if you listened to last week's episodes, you know about the hot mic moment, the producers telling Garcelle, if you haven't caught up on that yet, what are you doing with your life? Go and watch it on the podcast on YouTube. It's on the Instagram account too. I get into all the details. I explain it further. So please stop commenting and DMing and trying to whatever. Thank you, your girl Mar bought badges during the last 3 lives. Yes, your girl Mar has bought it. Their Instagram is telling me that the last 3 live videos you have bought badges for. And Instagram is telling me to give you an extra special shout out, your girl Mar. So thank you. I love you. Takeaway. Okay, so in relation to Garcelle and the hot mic moment and all of that stuff. We get into this week's episode. It's kind of the tail end. They completely cut out the whole producer fight with Erica. However, you see that Erica and Garcelle make up so fast. They make up so quick. And this is where I'm like, I didn't think Garcelle meant any ill will in bringing that information up. It was totally produced. It was the producers prodding her to, push that conversation, which she ultimately did. And that's what upset Erica. We now see that the LA Times article is going to drop. Those things don't drop on surprise. They usually give you up to at least like a week, sometimes 3 days to respond to it. So it's likely her publicist was given a heads up and given the opportunity to comment and say something that could be quoted in the article. A lot of the times you don't want to give a quote. You don't want to give a statement because with hit pieces like this, I know I've been the victim of hit pieces like this. And I ended up shooting myself in the foot, not by giving an official statement, but by taking one of the calls from a reporter, and then the reporter ended up using that conversation and convoluting shit. But you typically don't want to give a quote or a comment on something that you believe is going to be a hit piece, because all they're really looking for at that point, the objective is made, the article is done. They're just looking for something to further make their point or further make you look bad. So in that case, what I'm saying is she probably knew that that article was going to drop. You're not usually given a heads up on the exact day that it's going to drop, but they give you a timeline as to when they want a response by. And they want a response usually within a 12-hour window of when the article is going to be published. Again, is 12 hours enough time for you to completely rework your article if a statement is going to change it? No, and it's because most reporters aren't interested in changing their tune. They just want to add in a quote somewhere that can either further support where they stand or, further bury you or whatever the case may be. So I think that's a big part of the reason she ended up getting so upset and working her energy at Garcelle and having such a big blowout, because at the end of the day, it doesn't look like, to us, it seems like it's not that big of a deal that Tom was calling her. Like, why is that an issue if Tom's calling you every day? If the LA Times article is coming out and it's definitely going to be a hit piece, then you don't know how that information of Tom talking to you every day, you don't know how that could potentially be twisted or misconstrued in any way. I think the fact that she forgave Garcelle so quickly shows that she knows Garcelle wasn't at fault. She knows that Garcelle meant no ill will. Hi, Stacey Jean. Welcome on in. So she's not upset at Garcelle. Yes, what Garcelle did was kind of shady. It was to kind of have a moment, but I don't think Garcelle was trying to be shady or have a moment necessarily. I'm pretty sure whoever coached her or prodded her told her that this was going to be in Erica's best interest, and Garcelle bought that and believed that. And Garcelle probably felt duped in all of it too, and that's why she was so emotional, because she realized she hurt Erica, and then there's that moment of, now I feel duped. And then she did an interview today, I believe, or maybe yesterday. No, it had to have been today, with Daily Pop, and on Daily Pop, she talks about how she basically confirms that she wasn't there for the conversation with Erica and Crystal, but she doesn't necessarily directly say that. But, she's trying to not lie, but be honest enough to still withhold certain details, like the fact that she wasn't present for the conversation. So, Erica forgave Garcelle really quickly, which tells me that she was never really upset with Garcelle. She was probably upset with production and just the stress of having the LA Times article coming out. She had to have known. That's why she was so sensitive. Any link to Tom could possibly make her look guilty. Again, this is still at the beginning of everything, so she didn't know what the gravity of what was about to come. It was just preparing for the trepidation of what was ahead. So, and I fully understand where Sutton is coming from as well. I don't think, I'm not Team Garcelle. I'm not Team Erica. I'm not Team Sutton. I think, it's a multi-layered issue. I feel bad for Garcelle that she was caught in the middle. I feel bad that Erica's going through a tough situation. And then I understand where Sutton feels like she doesn't really know what's going on. And I think it's okay to kind of just sit and watch a television show and not pick a team. You don't have to be I hate this person, I'm on this person's team. It's okay to be I'm watching the show and this is a good show and I understand where all the players fit on this show. Not a terrible thing, you guys. Try it sometime. But I understand where Sutton's coming from. I don't think she's being too cautious. I don't think she's coming in too hard. I think it's very valid and warranted and fair for where things are at. And you can tell that Sutton has since changed her tune, and she has become more supportive of Erica, as has Garcelle. All of the women are standing behind Erica currently, which tells me there's a lot more to come. Sutton's playing it smart. You're right, Rita. She's playing it smart, and that's the smart thing for her to do, because obviously she doesn't want to be dragged into it. She doesn't want to be, questioned or a witness to anything. Obviously it's a legal situation, and Sutton doesn't want to get messy with it. I think Sutton's position is fair. But Sutton has changed her position since then and has supported Erica. They've all come out and supported Erica publicly, whether it was on social media, whether it was in an interview, whatever the case may be. They've all come out and supported Erica, which again further validates for me, maybe there's more to the story that we're going to find out. If all of these women, including the ones that were questioning her, because you see Kyle questions her in this mid-season trailer, you see Dorit questions her, Garcelle has been grilling her nonstop, you see Sutton really goes head-to-head with Erica, so, it's a tough position for them to be in. Okay, let's talk about Tom Girardi and his refusal to testify, because that's a big headline, right? We're like, Tom's refusing to testify. What does this mean? Oh my God, he's concealing information. So, I like to take headlines and bring it at you with the facts. So let's break it down, because it is bad, but it's not bad. I don't really know. Okay, so what's happening right now is there are contempt proceedings that are happening with two other lawyers that were at Girardi case. One of them being Keith Griffin and the other one being David Lira. David Lira might sound like a familiar name to you. Why might that sound like a familiar name? Also, guys, please continue dropping badges. I'll give you shout outs in just a minute. If you have questions, hit the little question box, hit the little question button, and leave the question there, because there are so many comments that come in the live chat that I can't always keep up with them. But if you put them in the question section, I can answer those questions. Okay, so Keith Griffin, David Lira. Why does David Lira's name, why does that maybe sound familiar? David Lira is Tom Girardi's son-in-law. So when we hear about the son-in-law working for Tom Girardi and being a part of the law firm and then leaving the law firm, that's who David Lira is. So they worked on Tom with the Lion Air settlement, the case. They helped Tom with that. They were the lawyers that worked on the case, the Lion Air, that's the Boeing case. They're the ones that are suing Tom, the orphans and the widows. Okay? So Keith and David worked with Tom on that case specifically. So the victims were kind of like, well, if they worked on the case with Tom, aren't they also culpable in participating in Tom's embezzling of those funds? One thing about Zack always comes with the facts and not just the headlines. That's right. It's Mila and Darling. It's Mila Darling. Mila and Darling. Mila and Darling. That's right. I always come with the facts. Okay. Contempt proceedings. What does a contempt proceeding mean? It's basically a further investigation to see if Keith Griffin and David Lira are actually culpable or guilty or responsible for the missing funds in the Lion Air case. The clients are saying, yes, they are responsible. However, Keith and David have both come out and they said they had no access to the money. They had no say over what happens to the money. You also have to remember Girardi and Keith. So I think it was Robert Keys? I don't remember the guy's first name. Rob Keys? Maybe. I remember there was a connection that I made with Crystal's husband. Anyway, Keys and Tom Girardi are the two that are ultimately fully responsible. I'm wondering what the hell is going on with Keys, because he hasn't really been brought into this too much, but now we see that Keith Griffin and David Lira are being brought into this because they were the ones that worked on the Lion Air case. So they said they never had access to the funds. Only Tom Girardi had access to the funds. They are even going a step further and saying that they told Tom that the clients weren't getting the money and the clients need to be getting their money. Apparently, David Lira and Tom Girardi had a big blowout about the settlement money and about the clients not getting their money, and that's what ultimately led to David, his son-in-law, departing the law firm, Girardi Keys. So David has a blow up with Tom Girardi, leaves the law firm, goes off, and is like, I'm cleaning my hands of this, okay? Lori Lee, new listener here. Where have you been my whole life? Right here, boo. Mwah. Robert Keese. It is Robert Keese. Yeah, okay, so I'm not crazy. Robert Keese is his partner. So that's what these contempt hearings are really just to further investigate what their role was in the whole disappearance of the money. The clients are saying, okay, that's fine. If you want to say that you had no control over the money, you can say that you had no control over the money, but you're still culpable in the sense that you knew Tom was withholding those funds. So your responsibility should have been to report that, and you didn't. Instead, you ran from the law firm, you quit the law firm, you left. You cleaned your hands of it. And I get it. That's what you want to do. You don't want to turn him in, but it was your responsibility to turn him in and say that he wasn't handing over those funds and to really, hold him accountable, which he didn't do. I love how Anania, I love how men get a pass by the media. The partner can get away by saying he didn't know, but the wife can't. The shackles of patriarchy are real. 100%. Yes, snaps for you. Because, look at that. These two men can say, I don't know what happened to the money, and nobody's, putting their feet to the fire. But Erica Jane cries and has mascara coming down their face, and people are like, oh, she's lying, she's faking. Where's the waterproof mascara? You're right. There's a total double standard. We love to crucify the women, and we don't love to hold the men accountable, because now we have 3 men that were actually involved in the Lion Air case that were a part of this case and were aware that the funds weren't going to the clients. What about Tom's kids? And that's a great question. I don't even know. Nobody even really knows how many kids Tom actually has or who they are, what their names really are. Anyway, so Keith and David are, they have the contempt proceedings are moving forward. And so this is where Tom Girardi is saying, he basically had his legal team say that if he is put under the stand, he basically said, don't put me on the stand, because if you put me on the stand, I'm not going to say anything. I'm going to plead the fifth. I'm going to invoke my Fifth Amendment right to not incriminate, to not self-incriminate, and to just stay quiet. So again, shows how he's trying to bully the legal system by saying, don't even put me on the stand, because I'm telling you right now, I'm not going to say anything. Now, are these words coming from Tom Girardi directly? No, they're coming through his legal team. They have to come through his legal team because he has Alzheimer's and dementia and, or pretend amnesia. Whatever the case may be, he's not of sound mind to really be participating in this. But it sounds like a Tom Girardi move more than it sounds like his brother, his conservator, making that move. But anyway, he's basically saying, I'm not saying anything, which is a little suspicious to me, because it's like, well, why wouldn't you say anything? Wouldn't this give you an opportunity to further incriminate them or drag them down with you? Maybe he knows that he can't incriminate them without incriminating himself. I don't know. I cannot even imagine him on the stand. You're right, Stacey Jean. I don't think he would end up, I don't know. But he's not taking the stand. He has been very clear and very adamant about the fact that he is not going to testify against them. So he told the judge, don't even bother bringing me on the stand, because I'm not going to say anything. Which I think only helps Keith and David, because Keith and David, if anything, all Tom could do was mostly incriminate himself. Or incriminate them further. Can Erica take the fifth? Everybody can take the fifth. Everybody has a right to plead the fifth with any and everything. Whether or not that's the smart legal strategy, TBD, but everybody has the right to plead the fifth. Chris. I know his black eye grew. It was probably just a little smudge of the makeup. Confidence by Quinn. It will be interesting to see who flips on this case. For some reason, everybody's really afraid of him, but I think people are becoming a little more brazen, and I would anticipate, to save their own asses, Keith and David are probably going to further incriminate Tom and be like, you know what? This is what it is. Here's where I told him. Here are the emails. Here are the text messages. Here are the dates that the conversations were had with Tom. I would imagine at this point they have no loyalty to him and they're not afraid of him anymore, whereas before he had a lot of power and clout and influence. And now what have they got to lose? How did this all come alive? Erica knew all of this when she started the show. How did all what come alive? And we don't know if Erica knew this when the show started. Erica was his wife at the time. Your girl Mar. Erica was his wife at the time, so she wants to have. So she won't have to answer. So she won't have to answer questions about Tom. Only things that pertain to her, and she can plead the fifth on those. Yes, that's correct. And then the whole spousal privilege thing. I don't know how. Like I've tried to understand that. I know there has to be like compliant. Like you have to be willing to break spousal privilege, and I think both parties have to be okay with it. I don't know. I can look into that more if you guys care about spousal privilege, but I don't think there's anything at this point that they would bring her in and put her on the stand for. Only maybe questioning her, like her finances and her LLC. Okay, let's do some shout outs for the badges. All right. Arifka is giving me that badge tonight. Kimya, hey Kimya, Blair. Hey Blair, what's going on, Blair? Is your name really Blair? Thank you for the love tonight, Blair. Love you. Mean it gave me 2 badges. Ooh, 2 badges from MRSM. Yes. Your girl Mar dropped 2 more badges. Your girl Mar is always here in the live chat. Teresa Ross, what's going on, girl? 730. Yes. Badge. SoCal WC. Are you like SoCal West Covina? Is that what WC stands for? What does WC stand for? Stacy Jean. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Stacy Jean. Thank you, SoCal WC, for the 2 badges. Yes. Give me those badges. Yeah. Wow. I wonder how many more badges we can hit by the end of this. Thank you, guys, for the badges. I really appreciate it. I love you. I love you. I love you. Didn't they freeze Erica's assets, Chris? Yeah. Yes and no. They froze their community assets, yes, but I believe she still has like separate LLCs that she has access to. And on top of that, even when your assets are frozen, like the court still allows you a certain stipend, a living stipend that you can use to cover your living expenses. So your rent, food, drinks, whatever, you have that a little bit of allowance to be able to live off of. What do you know about the Real Housewives of New Jersey gals versus Jennifer? I'm so sad. I like Jennifer. I love Jennifer too. What do I know about it? I know that there's a rumor that Bill took a girl, I believe, that works at his office. What's the word on Ronald McDonald? We'll get to that shortly, guys. We'll get to All Stars and we'll get to Ronald McDonald. Real quickly, Dallas and Jersey. So Dallas has yet to be picked up. It has yet to be greenlit. We don't know what's going on with Dallas as of yet. Ooh, SoCal WC brought in 3 more badges. Yes. Snaps for SoCal WC. What's your actual name, SoCal? Let me know so I can give you a real, true, lovely shout out. Jersey. So Bill apparently took somebody that works at his office to St. Barth's, I believe. He was taking her on a trip abroad, which now makes sense as to why Jennifer Aydin went on her Instagram stories and was like, here are Bill's passports. It was renewed in 2018. These are all the places that he's been. Apparently, some people are saying, Chris, SoCal WC, love you, Chris. Thank you, Chris. I love you, and I appreciate that. All the love and the badges. So Jennifer showed us the passports and proved that they didn't have stamps to St. Barth's. However, some people were saying that most places or a lot of places don't even stamp anymore. I don't know if that's true or not. I don't remember the last time I've traveled internationally. It's been a minute. But I guess some places don't stamp anymore. And his passport was renewed in 2018. So I believe when you get a new passport, you lose all the stamps from your prior passport. So I want to see the old passport to verify that wasn't what actually was happening. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So, yeah, it looks like Bill Aydin probably did cheat on Jennifer. Margaret Josephs brought it up on the show, and Jennifer Aydin is pissed. Most of the cast is isolated Jennifer, which is not a big shocker because, she really came at them hard at the reunion, so you can't really expect them to want to be friends with her after all. But those are the rumors. That's what's been said. They were at a celebrity sports tournament. I believe it was softball, maybe baseball. They were all there, and it looked like there was a little bit of beef between Margaret and Jennifer from what fans were able to film like on their phones from afar. So there's that. Jersey is supposed to be coming back this October. It's supposed to wrap filming in the next few weeks. And from what I've heard, it's supposed to be coming back in October, which sounds really soon. I don't know if that's true. I haven't confirmed that rumor, but that is the rumor that I heard. I heard a rumor. I didn't start a rumor. I heard a rumor. All Stars. So I believe this was according to Demois. All Stars is filming a second season, or someone is claiming that they're filming a second season of The Real Housewives All Stars. We know that was the first one that came with Kyle and Luann and Ramona and Kenya and Cynthia. And who else was on that? Is that it? Am I forgetting somebody? I'm probably forgetting somebody. Oh, and Teresa and Melissa. So we all know that filmed a while ago, and that's supposed to be airing probably in September. I envision we would be getting a trailer soon. We're also supposed to be getting a Salt Lake City trailer like ASAP. But if it hasn't dropped already, depending on when you're watching this. I'm hearing it's supposed to drop Friday morning. However, apparently they're filming a second season of All Stars. And it's going to be filming in September before the first season even airs. And people are saying it's going to be surrounded by a New York house, or not a New York housewife, but an East Coast housewife. I don't believe there's any truth to this rumor, or at least not that it's Housewives All Stars. There might be a Housewives spinoff show, maybe related to somebody on the East Coast. I mean, it can't be Housewives All Stars because we really had the All Stars. We have Teresa, Ramona, and Luann. Those are the three like East Coast, New York, New Jersey housewives. I don't know if Atlanta and Potomac, I mean, I guess, are we considering them East Coast? Emily is doing a live show regarding Britney. I choose you first, and I love Emily. Oh, that's so sweet. I mean, but Emily's the person to watch for Britney. I'm not covering that as much. I'm doing more Girardi housewife stuff. Emily's great. I love Emily. Both of our lives are always available to rewatch later. So you can rewatch them and support us both, always. Yeah, I don't believe that they're not going to film a second season before they film the first season. Like, that doesn't even sound like a real thing, you guys. Like, are we really believing this rumor? It's probably a spinoff for Peacock that'll involve another housewife. I don't know who that other housewife would be. Some people were guessing Dorinda. Some were guessing Tinsley. I don't know. I don't even know if there's any truth to any of this. I haven't, other than it being an ambiguous rumor via Demois. And I had to like really take Demois, and I like Demois, but you have to take that stuff with a grain of salt because it's literally anybody. I can go on my computer right now and send in an anonymous tip that Jennifer Aydin had a threesome with another woman on the cast. And I can send that into Demois, and there's a good chance Demois might actually publish that. There's no verification of those sources. And they're very honest about that. They're very honest that like, these are rumors, these are fan submissions, these, might not always be honest and truthful, but here's the scoop that's being given to us. So, I don't think so. Real Housewives of Dallas, I told you, hasn't been greenlit yet, so all the casting rumors at this point are just rumors. Again, this is where, like what I was talking about earlier when they were saying that the casting for New York is going to be taken over by the network. The network is the one that greenlights, has final say on everything. So the network has yet to greenlit Dallas for another season. However, the producers are the ones that are getting everything ready so that as soon as the show is greenlit and picked up, everything's already set and ready to go. That kind of also gives you a little more clarification on how that hierarchy works when it comes to picking up the show for another season, casting, who's going to be on the show, which storylines they decide to pursue. Dallas is still in the air. The producers have everything ready. The network has yet to actually move forward with it. It could be a Miami situation where it's not officially canceled, but it kind of just sits on ice for 7 years. Ronald McDonald. This is just a quick little update on Ronald Richards. He won the motion to reconsider. Erica's team filed a motion to reconsider having him removed, and he won. So he's going to stay on the case. He will not be removed from the case because they said that they're claiming that he is not being professional and violating ethical rules by tweeting about the case on Twitter and harassing Erica and her friends on Twitter. However, the court ruled that he has a First Amendment right of free speech, so he can do whatever he wants to do on Twitter. That's his right on social media. I think it makes him look like a clown. he does release some good information sometimes when he gets a little unhinged and off the wheel. That's where I'm like, now we got to listen to him for a long time. Oh, yeah, he's not going anywhere anytime soon. I don't think he was ever going anywhere anytime soon, even if he got kicked off the case. He just now, gets to stay on and have the validation of winning against Erica. I didn't really think he was going to win that one, though. I mean, her team put a solid effort. I don't think they hit it out of the ballpark with their motion or their motion to reconsider, but clearly it wasn't effective because Ronald McDonald won. All right, let's take your questions. Has he contacted you at all, Zack? Yes, he actually has contacted me after, I think it was last Thursday and last Friday. He contacted me to say that he had access to Erica's financial records and that she is paying for 2 witnesses. This is off the top of my head. I don't remember the exact details of it, but there were 2 other witnesses that were related to a Girardi case in the mid-2000s, and he's alleging that Erica is paying for their legal fees. I haven't seen the paperwork. I haven't seen the paper trail. I don't have any proof of that. Again, one of the reasons I said I don't really like Ronald Richards a lot is because he throws out these big speculations without any merit. I also find it interesting that the $20 million loan broke back in December. We're now in August of 2021, so it's been 8 months since that news broke, and yet there's still no proof that has come forward. And she has, as far as I'm aware, turned over her legal documents because she had until the end of July to do that. So for me, it's more of just like, how is it that we continue to make these big accusations, but we still have absolutely nothing that directly ties her to anything? There are no receipts. There's no, trace of anything, not even like an inkling of anything that we've seen so far. So for me, it's just like, I don't know what he's actually found. And if he's going to find something, he's going to be the first one to come out and find it. He doesn't find things, he speculates things. Again, I'm about the facts. Show me the facts, show me the receipts, show me the email, show me the text messages, show me the paper trail. Show me the corroboration, show me the guilt. I have yet to see any of that. He's very big on speculation, which is why a lot of people love him, because they get fired up by the things that he says, but a lot of it doesn't have merit or substance behind it. All right, questions. What are we talking about? Gucci? Who's from Gucci? What's from Gucci? What's Gucci, guys? I mean, I know what Gucci is, but what are we? 25,000? Okay. Questions. Oh my God, so many questions. And thank you for the badges, guys. I love you guys. I'll give you shout outs again momentarily. So send in your badges. Let's see if we can get to 20 badges for the night. Let's let that be our goal. 20. We're at 11 badges. Maybe we can hit 20. If we do, maybe I'll flash a nipple or something. Does he own that La Quinta home? I believe he does own a La Quinta home that is now up for sale. What happens if Tom refuses to testify? Nothing. He can refuse to testify. If they make him testify, he can continue to plead the fifth. And again, it's more of just to incriminate Keith and David more than it does really do much for Tom. And I think they're probably going to burn Tom in their testimonies already. Doesn't really mean anything. Again, headlines are salacious. Headlines sound bad. This doesn't really mean much. Do you think Erica will have her lawyer present with her at the reunion? Yes, I do believe Erica will have her lawyer on set. Maybe not on, or will be not on camera, but definitely on set around to fact check. Like Teresa, when she would do interviews, she always had her lawyer on hand to cut any questions or whatever, and kind of be there to guide her and support her. Do you think Erica will return next season? I think she definitely needs the paycheck and the money and the exposure and a way to control the narrative. So maybe I would say put my money on the fact that if they offer her a contract, which I believe that they will, she will return. Will Erica go to jail? Curly Q5. Maybe. If she does go to jail, it'll probably be for tax evasion and not for any other criminal responsibility. Because at the end of the day, she didn't have a duty to the California State Bar. She didn't have a duty to those clients. Those were Tom's clients. That was Tom's law firm. He was the one with the fiduciary responsibility to fiduciary or judiciary. It's one of those two words. My brain is blanking right now, so don't drag me in the comments. Will she go to jail? Maybe like a Teresa situation for tax evasion. That's what Emily D. Baker was saying. Tom taking the fifth, not buying it. Why aren't you buying it? People can take the fifth. We're all allowed to take I can plead the fifth right now. That's my legal right. Not buying that he's guilty or not buying that he's innocent. Like, I don't know what you're trying to say. Is Tom senile? And maybe. I don't know. I'm not a doctor. I haven't analyzed Tom himself. Do I believe that he is old and possibly may have like dementia? Maybe. Do I believe that this is a legal game that he's playing? That's probably more likely. I believe there's a good chance that it's more of a legal play than an actual mental, or even if he does have issues mentally, like he's losing it, I don't know if it's as serious as his team is making it out to be. What does Tom Girardi kids think? Tom Girardi kids, I don't know. I haven't talked to them. I haven't interviewed them on my show. I'm not sure what they think. We don't even know much about them altogether, to be honest. So I don't know. What are your thoughts on the whole Bill Aydin thing? I think he probably cheated on her. I mean, Bill doesn't seem like the most faithful guy, and Jen gives me the impression that maybe she knew and turned the other cheek. I wouldn't be surprised, based off of the relationship her parents had. It seemed like, she might be okay with turning the other cheek. Confidence. No question, but someone brought up a good point that Bill could have a Turkish passport as well. That is a good point. I've heard that too, and that's also a possibility. What Jennifer showed to me didn't prove that Bill was innocent. His passport from 2018 does not prove that he was innocent. How do you get and give badges? That's a good question. I think there is like a badge button. If somebody wants to explain it in the comments, I'm not actually sure how you give badges. I just know it gives me the option to accept badges, and then it shows me when you send me badges, and then I send you love because I love you guys. But thank you, Sailor Easton. If you have badge, you just want me to show my nipples, huh? That's what you want. Storm Doris, Real Housewives of Dallas update, and Tom Mass and Clown. Yep, Dallas update is that there is no news on Dallas. It hasn't been greenlit. None of the cast have gotten their contracts. It's all still up in the air. Tom Mess we tackled. Ronald McDonald we tackled. Russ MNNH. Reminding you here. Oh, the NBC Universal thing. Yes, I did. We did discuss the NBC Universal thing. Can we discuss Dorit's ignorance and Kyle and Garcelle's solidarity on episode 12? Oh, you mean the race talk on Jersey? I think, this is what I think is a good way to approach the race conversation. You have Crystal, you have Garcelle, you have white women being like, I don't fully understand this, and messing up and not being afraid of messing up and kind of just like sitting there and owning it and sitting in that discomfort. And then we have closure. We have the conversation, we have closure, we move on from it. And it's come up a couple of times this season where I think we're seeing these conversations, we're seeing these women willing to buckle and change or understand or share their opinions, and we are able to move through those conversations, which I think is what's not happening on New York. And I think it's part of the Luann and Ramona are afraid to speak. Sonia is going so hard, and I think because she's drunk and she thinks she's doing the right thing, but she's just like throwing down the gavel a little too hard, as I think Ebony is as well. I think they're approaching it in a way that's very it's uncomfortable all around, but I think it's not something, like, I get it, these conversations aren't supposed to be easy, and they are supposed to kind of make you sit up in your seat a little bit and kind of feel some discomfort. I just don't think that's being executed very well on Real Housewives of New York. And I know some people feel like Ebony is being hypocritical given her previous stances politically in the past and her hardcore endorsement of Donald Trump and, her now fighting on this, mountain of anti-white supremacists, but then supporting somebody that she's now considering a white supremacist. Like, it's all very seemingly hypocritical. I think I would like Ebony outside of Real Housewives of New York. I just don't think she's a fit for this show specifically. That's how I feel. Ooh, okay, more questions. Let's see. Oh my God, so many questions. Okay, the long questions show up really, really tiny, so try to make them not so long, guys. Do you think, or wouldn't you, if you found out that your husband was taking money from people and giving to you, wouldn't you sell everything? I think that's a really complicated question. I think you would want to participate in the investigation. I think when you've been married to somebody for 20 years and your life has now been turned upside down, there's part of you that maybe wants to be in denial and not want to believe that your spouse is capable of this. I just think it's multi-layered. I think Erica should 100% want to be, and I feel like I would want to be fully on board with the investigation and be as willing as I can. However, you also have to be keenly aware of the fact that if you start giving everything up right away, other people, especially people like the lenders that are in line to collect, they're going to then see, oh, there's a pot of gold over there because she's already forking up her jewelry. And then they're all going to move their attention away from Tom and move their attention over to Erica because she's the one that has the pot of gold that she's giving out free money from. Like, think about it. If there was, a man on the street that had a bag of money and he was starting to hand out dollar bills to everybody, and then there was a really wealthy man that was concealing all of his money across the street, who do you think people are going to go towards? They're going to go after the one that's giving out free dollar bills because that's where the money is presumably at. Teresa, don't you think $2 million for a lion heir is not much for the settlement? How much is owed to everyone? Do you know? Great question. I don't know. I don't remember what the actual settlement was for. I haven't tackled that. I believe that's in my Girardi deep dive part 1. However, the $2 million is just the portion of the funds that they believe were misappropriated. So there was the cut that the families were supposed to get, and then there was and I want to say it was like an $8 million. I don't remember. It's been so long. But there was that $2 million was only what they believed to have been misappropriated. So there could have been more that Tom took that he may have been entitled to with his 40%. But beyond that, I believe that $2 million is just what they feel was misappropriated. So the settlement itself had to have been, I believe, a lot larger than $2 million. Kimya, even if they didn't have access, aren't they responsible to report it if they know something? Exactly. That's I believe you're referring to David Lira and Keith Griffin, the two lawyers part of Girardi Keys. That's the argument that the clients are trying to make, is that even if they didn't have access to the money, they should have reported Tom. And that's where they now become culpable because they knew he was doing something illegal and they didn't report him. And that's their duty, is to, make sure everything checks out. Isn't he shooting himself in the foot by telling you what he has? Okay, guys, when you do ask questions, like, please try to be specific with names and stuff because we've covered so many topics. Isn't he shooting himself in the foot by telling you what he has? I'm not sure who we are referring to. Tom Girardi? Bill Aydin? I'm not sure. I'm going to skip over that one. Sorry, Kimya. Okay, RSAM, what are your thoughts on the newest girl on Potomac, not Mia? Not Mia? Well, who's the other new girl? Where did she come? Oh, yes, the other new girl. I have no idea who she is or where she came up from. All I know is she just popped right in there, and I don't know. We're not seeing very much from her. We're not hearing very much from her. I don't know. To me, she feels like Margaret Joseph's assistant. Margaret always brings in her little assistant, and it's kind of just randomly placed. Jen Shaw's outfit decor. Yeah, it wasn't great. Do you remember Erica stopped talking on camera when Tom told her to? Yes, I do. Yes, I do remember that. Let's see. Oh, wow. Did we hit the... Okay. Oh, sorry, I was referring to Ronald McDonald. Isn't he shooting himself? Oh, okay, that's what we're talking about. Isn't he shooting himself in the foot by telling you what he has? About the witnesses? Or about... I'm sorry, I'm not understanding this question. Maybe try to just be a little more specific. Yeah. Do you think that Erica has kept her son's identity super private to shield him from the potential fallout of this case? Probably. I mean, yeah, but she's really private about him altogether. I'm pretty sure she's trying to keep him out of this as much as possible. And I'm pretty sure he wants to protect her as much as possible. It's his mom, you know? And I'm pretty sure he trusted Tom just as much as she did. And so he's probably angry at Tom. Your girl Mar, not a question, but I want to make sure you see this. I'm being induced next week, so I'm not here for the next live. On Thursday. Oh, your girl Mar, we're gonna miss you. You can receive questions when badges are on, but you can't show them on screen. I don't know what that means. Instagram, sorry. Because he's a cop. Yes, you're right, Teresa. He's a cop, and she wants to protect him. Dorit update. What do you mean in Dorit? Is there what about Dorit? But yes, congrats, your girl Mar. That's so exciting. We can't wait to hear about it when you're back. Take your time. Don't feel like you need to rush back into the lives. We're sending you lots of love for a very healthy, safe delivery. We love you every week. Don't even stress about not being here next week. We're sending you lots of good, positive vibes for a very safe recovery. Gucci, she banned from the store. Oh, wait. What are we talking about with the Gucci? I've heard of the Louis Vuitton, and somebody's saying that there's a housewife that was, yes, congratulations, Mar. Everyone, please wish your girl Mar a congrats. Time to pop the baby out. Yes. Dorit's back taxes. Yeah, I mean, people have back taxes, especially wealthy people. And to me, that wasn't wildly shocking. About Dorit, I don't have any update on that. Yes, you're right. So it was Louis Vuitton and not Gucci. It was one of, apparently there's, I don't know if it was Demois or if it was a blind item, but there's a rumor that one of the housewives has been blacklisted by Louis Vuitton and is not allowed to purchase Louis Vuitton anymore. They say it's not OC, it's somebody in, I believe, Beverly Hills. Maybe it's Dorit, but why would it be Dorit? I don't know. I haven't really looked into it. I saw it very briefly before turning on the live, so I haven't fully done it. Oh my God, we're only 4 badges away, you guys, from hitting our goal of 20. We have 16 badges in. Let's give some bad shout outs. Emily Overbow. Emily Overbow? Overbaugh? Emily Overbaugh. Another badge. I love it. SoCal WC Chris, I remembered your name. 2 more badges. I love it. Kimya, thank you. Your girl Mar, we're gonna miss you so much next week. Oh my God, more from Holly in the Valley. Get it, Holly in the Valley. Convos with Lisa Marie, thank you. Stacy Jean, thank you. Teresa Ross, thank you. MRSM, thank you. And I have to give a special shout out. Hold on, there's one more that I do have to give a special shout out to. In the YouTube from the last week live, okay? Homeboy gave a very, very generous, badge. It was in the super chat on YouTube. I have to give him a shout out because he gave $100 tip in it. And I was like, it made my head spin, and I was so grateful for that. And he deserves a shout out and a congrats. Congratulations to LVP on being a grandmother. Yes, congrats to LVP. I think that is super exciting for LVP to become a grandma. I think, yeah. I think anytime anybody has a baby, it's always an exciting time. And I always want to congratulate anybody that is going in there and doing the thing. What are there any other hot takes or things we want to talk about, you guys? Didn't know you could do that. Have a baby? You didn't know you could have a baby? Your girl Mar did it. People have been doing it since the beginning of time. Okay, let's see. What is his name? I have to give him a shout out because he was so sweet. Mark Eubanks. Mark Eubanks. He gave $100 tip in the YouTube live and said, "You deserve the support." Like, what a freaking awesome guy. Thank you. Jen Shaw and her mess. What else is there? Give a tip, Sally. What else is there to talk about with Jen Shaw? Is there anything else to talk about with Jen Shaw? I feel like Jen Shaw is locked up. They gon' let me out. Locked up. They won't let me out. Jen Shaw's about to be locked up. Locked up. Kimya, expose the person who wrote the hit piece on you. No, I don't want to give her that attention. That happened 2 years ago. I think 2 years ago. And I'm not giving her that attention. The publication doesn't deserve the attention. She doesn't deserve the attention. A lot of reporters like to put together convenient half-truths to try and make up a whole story. Stuart Smith will flip on her. Probably. Do we have proof of that? Not yet. I know Ronald McDonald is really trying to push that. Do we know that there's proof that he's going to flip on her? We don't have any proof of that as of yet. It's very likely, though. I mean, at this point, he's going to have to save himself. So that's more big speculation, but we'll see. Wait, what? What did she do? What did who do? Jen Shaw? Jen Shaw went and ripped off some senior citizens. I think Bravo needs to change the format back to the old days of fun and real stories. I mean, they're not necessarily fun, but they are real stories. Instead of always fighting and drinking too much, we want to have fun. Yeah, the whole formula for Housewives has really changed. Cheers, you guys. Who's drinking with me tonight? What are you guys drinking? You're thinking of Jen from Joyzy. What are you guys drinking tonight? And whiskey, wine, no filter rosé. What's on the menu for tonight, everybody? Let me know. So I have a question. Can Tom really refuse to testify? Yeah. I mean, so Tom refusing to testify is a big... He's not necessarily saying, no, I'm not going to testify. But he's saying, ooh, vodka and La Croix, drinking white Zinfandel. Love it. He's not saying, I'm not going to testify. He's just saying, I don't want to testify. And if you make me testify, I'm going to plead the fifth. So he's basically trying to strong arm the judge into not being called into questioning. He doesn't want to. Ooh, a frozen margarita, box boy rich. Get it. So he's not necessarily refusing to testify. He's just saying he's trying to get them to relieve him from testifying. What do you think of the new OC housewife getting divorced? I don't know. I don't know if you guys caught it. On my episode with Jeff Epstein, which was, I believe, last Monday, he talked about Noella because she's the new housewife that's divorcing her husband and said something about there being tax issues. Apparently, saw a video interview from 9 months ago of Tom and he was incredibly sharp. Yeah, remind me about that, Elizabeth. We'll talk about that momentarily because I have a story about that. But so Jeff was talking about Noella and how she was claiming she didn't know about the $5 million that her husband owed to the IRS. Jeff said he met her last summer and doesn't know if that's necessarily true that she didn't know about it. Because she's claiming to recently have found out about it, but Jeff met her before, and I don't think he's seen her much since then. We're at 18 badges, you guys. We're only 2 more away. Can we kill it? Can we hit that goal of 20, which is 2 more badges? Thank you, guys. I love you guys. I hate to even ask you guys to give more badges because you've all been so sweet and generous, and I appreciate all of you. I really, really do. This is so fun for me to do this every night. Okay, we do have to wrap, though, because I believe Instagram's going to cut us off at some point because we are hitting that 1 hour mark. I can't believe we've been taping for an hour. We've been doing this for an hour already. Wow. Okay. Oh my God. Kelly and Rick doing their own podcast. Hilarious. The ads that they were doing, so funny. The video that they did to announce it, Kelly literally is reading off of a script and she is so terrible at reading off of a script. Hilarious. Oh my God. Yay. We hit 20 badges. Yeah. Who were the last 2 that helped us bring it in? Sanchez fam. Love you, Sanchez fam. And Holly in the Valley. Holly in the Valley is literally the best. Okay. I have to tell you guys this. Holly in the Valley told me when my wine came out, she's like, I don't drink wine, but I want to give away some wine. So she bought 2 cases of wine and sent them to complete strangers that she had never even met, but that wanted the wine. She ordered wine for them and sent it to them. Like, who buys free alcohol for somebody they don't even know? That is Holly in the Valley. Holly in the Valley rocks. She's incredible. You got to check out Emily's live. I will check it out tonight or maybe tomorrow morning, but I will definitely check out Emily D. Baker. Everyone should definitely be following Emily D. Baker. But yes, shout out to Holly in the Valley. Holly in the Valley even sent another podcaster a case of wine. That's how incredible Holly in the Valley is. She's a badass bitch. Yes, Holly. Yes, Holly. Yes, your girl Mar with the baby. Yes. I want Ray to pay his bills. All right, guys, thank you for tuning in. You can give me a follow at Just Plain Zack. That's my personal account. Give me a follow there. I did a Instagram Q&A live with my plastic surgeon to talk all about injectables and Botox and like how to like stay looking forever 21. I like to say live fast, die hot. So give me a follow at Just Plain Zack. If you're not doing so already, follow at No Filter with Zack on the Instagram, or you can always go to youtube.com/justplainzack. Hit that subscribe button on the YouTube. Make sure you're subscribed to the podcast. We're available on all podcast platforms. #No Filter with Zack Peter. More tea to be spilled. As you see the tea spilling, send it to me in the DMs if you want me to talk about it on the lives, on the podcast, whatever you want. So thank you. Ooh, was so good with the doc. Yes, love Dr. Deer. Dr. Deer is such a wealth of information, and he's a cutie, and he like just keeps your face so good. Good show, Zack. Thank you guys. Love you guys. Get some wine for the weekend and for next week. NoFilterWine.com. Please support the wine. Love you guys. Have a wonderful evening. I will talk to you all very, very soon. I'll talk to you in the DMs shortly. All right. Ciao for now. Love you guys. Mean it. Bye.